Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be focusing on the 2002 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning, and it's a very special day because these are really hard to come by. They're very uncommon. If you remember the first Fast and Furious movie, you remember Brian was detailing a red truck. Some people would say, what's the big deal, it's a truck? Well, the truth of the matter is that truck is probably faster than half of the cars in that movie. That truck was a Ford Lightning. Let's start today's video, guys. So this is a SVT Lightning, and they were produced from 1999 to 2004. Now this is a second generation. They were only available as a single cab. Now let me go and introduce you to the owner. Everyone welcome Sean. All right, Sean, so tell us a little bit about your truck.
So I've had it for almost the last 4 years now. It's been a great truck, treated it well, dailied it almost every day since. I drive it to work, I used to drive it to school. It's gotten its use. And this color in particular is true blue, or otherwise midnight blue, and they only had this color in 2002. And so when the guy who bought it originally had it, he had put a two-tone paint job on the front, the sides, the rear, and ended up not doing too good of a job on the clear coat. And so now I have some bald bumpers, but other than that, the car is really mint. Has 50,000 miles, well, just a little over 50,000. Never had a problem with it, it's never broken down. And other than that, it's a great truck.
So focusing on the front end, this is a very simple yet really aggressive design. We got the dual fog lights at the very bottom, and compared to the base F-150 that came out at this time, it looks a lot better because the base F-150 is full chrome. This is actually paint matched. Let's go and focus on the engine.
Let's get this rolling. All right, let's jump right in to the heart and soul of this bad mamma jamma. All right, so jumping right into the heart and soul of this amazing truck, we have the 5.4 liter V8 supercharged. It's a 90-degree block. It's a 90-degree V8. It has a single overhead cam. It's a Gen 4 Eaton Roots supercharger. It's a 1.9 liters, but that's still good for almost 8.5 pounds of boost. Stock. Everything else is still stock. The air filter gets plenty of air to the motor. Everything's all set and final. It makes 390 horsepower relatively and 450 foot-pounds stock of torque.
Now another cool thing about this is at the time Ford didn't really like to be accurate on how much horsepower the vehicles were making, especially this. So I bet you it's making way more than this because they didn't want to start a horsepower war with any of the other competitors.
So talking a little bit about the transmission, it is a 4R100 4-speed that came out of a F-150 Super Duty. Around the same year, it's a 4R100 transmission out of the F-250 Super Duty. It's really bulked up to handle all the torque from this engine. This engine makes 450 foot-pounds of torque, so you can't just slap any old transmission in it or else it will blow up.
So 0 to 60 time in this truck is around 5.8 seconds on paper, and that's pretty fast considering that it's a 4,600 pound truck, but I'm pretty sure this is way faster.
So these are the SVT 5-spoke 18-inch rims that came originally on this truck. Now the 2000 to 2001 had different rims, just like the 2002 to 2003 had different rims. And well, actually 03 and 04 had completely different rims. 01 and 02 had different rims, and 99 to 2000 had completely their own rims. But I like these. These are my favorite, and if I had to, I'd definitely get another set of these.
So this being a second generation Lightning, Ford introduced the side exit exhaust to this generation, and this is also known as flare side because it has each step on each side. Let's go and take it to the back. So believe it or not, this is straight from factory. The taillights are from factory, they're not aftermarket. We have some SVT badging right here, which again means special vehicle team. I love how retro it is, and it's considered a collectible. Sean, so is it cool if we check out the interior?
Yes, sir.
And first I want to mention how heavy this door is. It's a really hefty door, really well built.
It's not no light door. It's a sturdy truck though.
Not at all.
Don't have to worry about it coming off.
This thing weighs like a ton.
It does.
All right, so talk to us a little bit about the interior.
So the interior, haven't really done anything. This is how it all came from stock. It had a 9 CD disc change, CD player, FM, AM radio. It also has a cassette player, which I'm never gonna use. AC works amazing, never had a problem. The glove box over here, useless. I got a sunglasses compartment right here, another little compartment right here. Then you got this space for, you know, CDs, whatever you want to put in here. And then this goes up.
Wow, a third seat?
Yeah, for a third seat.
And good thing this isn't a manual because no one would be able to fit in there.
Yeah, there'd be no room.
And you would hit their balls.
Some people that own Lightnings like to put a center console and, you know, put cup holders and another, you know, station to store stuff, but I don't see the need for that.
And how you feel about the seats? This is a really cool design.
Seats, I love the seats. Way better than any of the other seats I've really sat in.
It's like a mesh insert right here with a suede on the outer part.
They tell me that this is leather. This is some sort of leather.
Wow.
It's really hard.
It's like a woven leather.
Yeah, it's really weird, but yeah, and then you got the SVT stitched into the, embroidered into the seat.
I love how bulky they are too.
Yeah, and they're power seats all as well, they move.
And so, the subscribers want to see a driving portion.
Let's do it.
You ready?
I am ready. Are you
Let's
ready?
go. Alright, let's hear exhaust clip. Dude, the whole truck moves, dude. Wow.
I kept it first, and that's when I was going up, so it would like keep it in gear, so it would like raise the RPM.
I heard you from a mile away.
Yeah, it sounded badass. I would like zoom through the circle and shit. It was so funny.
Dude, this thing is so nice. It's really spacious in here too. Yeah, really clean.
That's what a lot of people, well, a lot of my friends say. They're like, "Wow, I actually have footroom in here for it being a single cab." And it handles nice. I like the way it handles for how heavy it is, how light it is in the rear. So the engine, as we were just saying, has a forged crank, forged rods, and you know it's bulked up to where it's making 450 foot-pounds of torque. So whenever I slam the throttle through a fly-by-wire throttle system, so it's instant, it's direct, and it's also fuel injected, so you know I don't have to wait for any electronical delay. It's just instant power when I want it, wherever I want it. It also has a limited slip differential, so when I floor it, it will lock up both rear tires, so that way I don't do a one-wheel burnout. I do two-wheel burnouts and leave thick black lines on the ground. And it also has a 9.7-inch rear diff in the back, with hooked up to a 4.5-inch solid aluminum drive shaft through the 4-speed. So she gets down.
And you mentioned that in your family you've had a total of 2 Lightnings. So tell me a little bit about the other one. Who did that belong to?
It's not the first Lightning. So it belonged to my dad, just like this one. My dad had one in about 06, I think it was. And it had a snug top with a lid. It was all true blue, or you know, midnight blue. And it had a Borla exhaust system. The thing was mint, not a ding or scratch on it. And well, sadly, we had to get rid of it. But it was the nicest, cleanest Lightning I think I've ever seen in my life. But I'm glad I have one again. I'm never gonna give this thing up for as long as I can. And I'm gonna try to do everything I can to it to keep it running, keep it looking nice every single day. And yeah, I just love this truck. I'm always gonna love this truck. It's not geared like a 5-speed, but it acts like a 5-speed because of an overdrive gear. So it will go through 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, all the way to 4th gear. And it tops out at 146 in 4th gear, and then goes into an overdrive gear where it keeps it at that speed, at that RPM, so that way it doesn't just bang off a rev limiter. But it also doesn't have a rev limiter. It has a fuel shutoff at 5,700 RPM, so that way you can't hurt the engine or bang it off the rev limiter. So yeah, it's a pretty cool system that Ford came up with. You know, even though how old it was, at the time. You know, this was 2002, you know. This isn't what's going on today where we have battle of the supercars. This was battle of the trucks, you know. Ford wanted to be the best. They still want to be the best, you know. The F-150 is literally the best-selling truck in America.
Vehicle.
Yeah, best-selling vehicle in America, and it's a truck. You know, it's not a sedan that a bunch of people can fit in. It's a truck that you can do whatever you want with. And this truck, you can haul stuff in the back and do burnouts at the same time.
Oh, definitely. And what were some of the competitors of this Ford Lightning?
Some of the competitors?
Yeah, were there any competitors?
They didn't have any, no.
Wow.
This truck came out and everyone was like, where do I sign up?
We're not even gonna try.
Yeah, like, where can I get one? You know, those kind of went, you know, kind of like the war, you know, where, you know, they captured a plane from the other side. They wanted to take it apart and see what, you know, they did to it that made it that much better. It's like kind of like this truck, you know, everyone wanted to know what Ford was doing with this truck, and they weren't hiding anything, you know. This truck was just built in a time where they were able to do what they wanted to do with it without everyone else saying, no, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't have that much torque and horsepower in that kind of truck, you know, that's not practical. What are you gonna do with a lock, you know, limited slip differential? What are you gonna do with that bulky of, you know, a differential and stuff like that? But, you know, or like people would say, like, what's the need for a sport truck, you know? What's the need for a lowered truck that can handle? And it's like, why not? You know, that's a good question. You know, why not? Why not have a sport truck? Why not be able to throw it into a corner and have it grip up and, you know, sway it around? It's fun. It's really fun. It's addicting, actually.
I don't know how you do it, but I would not be confident going that fast in something like this. Turning like this, dude. This is so sick.
It feels like it shouldn't be able to do it, but it does. It does it just fine.
Yeah, it did. I just saw it.
Which is funny.
I know, I was like,
it's super sketch.
Dude, do you trust this?
Yeah, no, like sometimes, like I have given it the beans on like you know, an occasion where I shouldn't have.
The Mamma Jamma?
Yeah, the Mamma Jamma. But it was going up, Meats, and I pulled out of the neighborhood.
Oh, Meats in Mexico though, right?
Floored it, yeah. Meats in Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, I know that street.
And so I floored it up there, and I was going at least like 80, 85, and I hit one of those dips, and the rear end totally skipped like 2 feet at least, and went, and then like caught back up, and I was like, oh damn. I was like, that was very scary. I was going way too fast for like the rear end to lose traction and grip back up again. I was like, holy shit. If I had old tires, I probably would have spun out. And I've had old tires on this thing before. I had old Nittos when like we first got the truck, and I was able to do burnouts just like with no problem at all.
Don't act like you don't want to smile, dude. Oh my god.
I forgot I had it in first still.
Oh.
So it like cut throttle. It was awesome though.
That was so sick.
The look on my face was probably like half terrified, half like that was super badass, because every time I do that, it's still just like I just did it for the first time. It's scary.
So this is actually my first truck that I'm reviewing, and this is, I don't know what could top this. I feel like I shouldn't have started with this truck, because you can only go down from here.
Yeah, who wants to see a GMC Cyclone? I don't. I want to see the Lightning.
Or the SRT10?
Yeah, I want to see the Lightning Part 2. Part 2 and Part 3.
Wow.
The first installment, the beginning of the saga. The base of the pie, the crust.
That is the beans right there.
That is.
You just gave it the beans. Wow, dude.
Add a little bit of sour cream and cheese.
Yo, can this review last all day?
Seriously, it just goes on a road trip with the Lightning. And it's like, so after about 200 miles, she's still holding up just fine. That'd be fun.
The video's like,
we're literally just going
8 hours
on the highway for like 30 minutes. Actually, no, I'd run out of gas in like 10 minutes. Alright, so I'm gonna pull over real quick so you can get a taste of...
You're gonna let me taste it?
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that, dude. I'm so excited for this.
I'm gonna get to drive the Lightning. Alright.
I'm gonna get to drive the Lightning. Wow.
Here we go.
Alright. Alright guys, so here is the cockpit of the Ford Lightning.
If you want to rev it, you can.
Why are you so nice to me, dude? I'm gonna rev it.
Because it's my truck. And so, you know,
Alright, let's hear it. Oh my god, dude, I feel it vibrating through my bones.
Do you feel it through the pedal too?
Yes, yes.
That wire connects straight to the throttle body for the supercharger. That's why once you touch the pedal, it wants to just go immediately.
Yep, I felt that.
Feeding that air to the supercharger. But yeah, the supercharger is the heart that beats in this truck. Like, if it didn't have a supercharger, it wouldn't be half the beast it is. But just that extra bit of like torque and power, the sound, the way it functions together, it's like butter. It's amazing. So what are your first impressions?
So we're off. Been in this car for literally 10 seconds and I'm still smiling from the thing you just did earlier. And
oh yeah, I think we did back in Mexico.
We're still in Mexico, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
We're in Tijuana right now.
I'm still scared about this thing. Like I'm confident in it, but I'm scared. Like I don't know what to expect. Like I know what this is about. And I respect it so much.
Got this.
All right, so instant feeling when you're driving something like this, you feel like a boss. Like no one could tell you anything when you're driving something like this.
Pretty much.
And I love the steering wheel. It's leather wrapped, of course. Very comfortable, very clean. How did you keep this so clean?
Well, you know,
18 years, that's pretty clean.
It's a simple interior, so you don't have to like dig around in any crevices or anything. So everything's easy to get to, which is good. I like that. But yeah, no, it's like everything is plastic or leather, you know. So it's good to get like some good chemical guy stuff and clean it off every day or every other day. I have been lacking to clean it a little bit, but you know, it's there. It's easy to clean. It hasn't been like destroyed to where it's hard to take care of.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I still can't believe I'm in a Lightning, dude. I'm in a Lightning.
The Ford Lightning. Seriously though, it's such a nice truck, and like
I'm barely stepping on it too, but you can tell it wants to go. Like
yeah, it's instant. It doesn't wait for you, you know.
You wait for it.
Yeah, you wait for it to give you permission.
All right. Is it okay if I give it the beans?
Yeah.
Okay. It handles like a champ too.
Oh yeah.
I love the attention this thing gets too. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely a go-getter.
How much you want for this?
Literally though.
All right, one last pull right here, and I'm done. Dude. I can't handle this.
Go for it.
Okay. This is a dig from 60. Oh dang!
Oh man. Oh,
dude, I saw you just like throw your head back, dude.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be today's super fun video. I do really appreciate you letting me drive. Appreciate that.
No problem.
So that's gonna be 2002 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning. Any last words?
Well, all I can say now is I can't wait until part 2. There's a storm. There's a storm coming.
Oh my god, dude.
For real though.
I'll see you guys in the next video. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video. Have a good one, guys.
Peace out.